for the beautiful people who just entered our life. This beautiful vision of a woman who's entered your life, Paul. And this very handsome man that you've met at the end of the aisle. It's very pollenous today, the air. A bit of rain. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this celebration, a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who are dedicated to one another. And today in this beautiful space, they're taking their relationship to the next level. They're moving to a higher place in their journey together, and they're here in their marriage ceremony. And in these very important moments in our lives, we choose to surround ourselves by the people who mean so much to us. So we have our family and our VIPs and our great friends supporting us. And this moment in their marriage ceremony is very important. So everyone who's gathered here is a huge part of their life. And I thank you for coming from far and wide. I hope you have an awesome time today and tonight celebrating their relationship. And, you know, getting it on the dance floor later and just celebrating this amazing love story. So turning back the clock of time, we find our two lovebirds crossing paths at work in 2010. It's cute, isn't it? They're working in the recruitment team at Suncorp. Any Suncorp staff here today? They'll be the loud ones. Yeah, represent. On first impression, Nakita thought Paul was very good looking, but he seemed quiet and guarded, and she actually thought he was a little bit up himself. Paul's first impression of Nakita was that she was a bit of a rebel. She had bright red hair. She was wearing those shoes that had metal studs on the back of them. And he's like, yeah, she's a bit rebellish. So I'd start chatting, they'd become mates at work, and it was here Nakita would see Paul come out of his shell at some after-work drinks, and she saw the other side of Paul. Rowdy bunch at Suncorp there. They both agree that becoming mates first was an awesome platform from which their relationship would blossom. 4 years after meeting, they decided to start dating. It all just clicked. And the right place and the right time for both of them. The dates were going well, their lips would clash, and the love gods would go wild for their approval of all of this happening. By 2015, life was peachy, and they'd merge wardrobes into a tiny apartment in Tenerife. Their first hairy child, Archie, would come into their lives. All the stars were aligning. There were some awesome trips to Europe, and love survived international travel. And Paul knew it was time to get a ring on Nakita's finger, so he set about a bit of a cunning plan to make this happen. And for all the grooms out there, if you've tried to save on the side, you'll know you might have to cut a few corners and put a few expenses to the side to make this happen, so the bride doesn't aware you're accumulating funds. And he would pass up some luxuries, even like when he hurt his back and he needed physio, Nakita calling him a stubborn so-and-so, a typical male for not spending money on getting it sorted out. She actually noticed this trend of not spending and started to get very suspicious and thought he had a major gambling problem. So they'd just been to Europe to a friend's wedding, and Paul decided to leave the ring at home. And it was November 11, and Paul rang Nakita to tell her she was going to have half the day off, and she was surprised. But you know, he's a romantic guy, so he would often do some romantic lunches and things like that. So he picked her up on Adelaide Street, and when she had kissed her Romeo, she noticed that he'd had a beer, and which he hilariously denied. The beer was shared with Nakita's dad because he was over there and asking Dad how he thought about him marrying his daughter, and Dad obviously agreed. And we find our lovebirds heading down the highway to Kingscliff, just up the road. Some of you may be staying at the at Salt there. So they booked in there, And then they went to Fingal Headland, which is just a beautiful piece of paradise, looking at Cook Island, the dolphins jumping out. Paul had packed a bit of a picnic with all these cushions, and it was pretty much one of the most romantic things you could think about. And the sun was going down, and Paul held Nakita in his arms, and she could feel his heart beating a million miles an hour. And she knew this was it. This was the moment. And Paul said some gorgeous words. They both started crying. Our very dapper Romeo got down on one knee and asked Nakita to be his wife. And she said yes. And love gods will go wild again. Romance factor 5,000, Paul. Well played. So our lovebirds love to eat out, try new places and different types of food. They love having the Sunday morning coffee, breakfast at a nice cafe. They love hanging out with Fairchild Archie, being a family and going to the beach for walks. It's high on their list of things to do. They both want to see more of the world and fill their passports with as many stamps as their budget will allow them. And there's also talk of buying their own home, having human babies one day, and bringing them up in said home. This is not why they're getting married, FYI. Paul smiles most when Nakita does her quirky little things, when she thinks no one is watching her, and every now and then he will catch her just being her. He can only laugh at her in-depth knowledge of Simpsons quotes, plus the voices she uses when conversing with the dog. Paul loves that Nakita's smarter than she will give herself credit for, and she's capable of achieving great things. And he loves that she has a great sense of humour and knows how to make him laugh. And Paul digs that Nakita's adventurous, likes to travel, and that she really values her family. And Paul is well aware in this marriage that watching a movie with Nakita should definitely come with a spoiler alert, because she's always blurting out the end of the movie when it comes to her mind. So he's okay with that before he signs away on the dotted line. He's down with that. So Nakita smiles most when she sees Paul cuddling or playing with Archie. She laughs when Paul's trying to pay her out, which does make her laugh. Nakita loves that Paul truly makes her happy, unlike anyone that she's ever met. Nakita loves that Paul is super funny, makes her laugh so much, and that they're always giggling at stupid stuff. She digs that Paul is so loving and caring, and he genuinely wants to look after Nakita, doing all that he can for her. She loves that Paul is a well-adjusted person, which makes her want to be better and makes her calm as well. And Nakita is well aware in this marriage that Paul never fills the water bottles, ever. FYI. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, giving thanks and praise to these two beautiful humans connecting out of the billions of other souls on planet Earth. Not only were they born into different cities in Australia, which had their own millions of people running around, but they met, they connected, they became fantastic mates, and then they fell in love. They rolled the dice, and now they stand here today in their marriage ceremony, which is an amazing fact. And we do know the rest of their journey's all going to be done with the great vibes that was there since day one. We know they're going to be each other's best cheerleader, each other's best mate, and have each other's back on the good days and the days that aren't so good. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do now is we're going to get the bride's parents to please stand. We're going to give them a round of applause. So who brings this beautiful woman to be married to this man?
We do.
And you welcome this groom into your family and give this couple all of your love and all of your support?
Yes, totally.
He's a top bloke, isn't he, Dad? Mum said he's cute. Well, thank you so much for bringing your gorgeous daughter along today. You've done a fine job raising a beautiful woman. You must be very proud of yourselves. A round of applause to Mum and Dad, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Benjamin Carlyle, and I'm a civil marriage celebrant, and the Australian government's given me the right and the authorisation to solemnise marriages according to law in Australia. Before you join in my presence and the presence of these witnesses, I'm to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship of which you are now about to enter. And marriage, according to law in Australia, is a union of two people to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. Guys are down with that? Very good. Very down. Paul, you take this stunning vision of a woman here, Nakita, to be your best friend, your soulmate, your lover, your companion, and your wife. And will you travel with her through life's challenges and those spectacular moments of joy for the rest of your lives together?
I absolutely do.
Yeah.
Boom. Nakita, take this very good-looking, highly intelligent man here, Paul, to be your best friend, your soulmate, your lover, your companion, and your husband. And will you travel with him through life's challenges and those spectacular moments of joy for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the moment of the ceremony where our two lovebirds are going to wear their hearts on their sleeve and they're going to hit us with their personal vows. And this is an amazing moment of the ceremony that makes them husband and wife. And without you as our witnesses today, these words don't mean too much. So thank you for being here to be our witnesses.
All right. How am I going to get through this? Let's see if I can get my words out. Nakita, today I promise to love you unconditionally, honour you and cherish you for the rest of my days. I promise to be there to encourage you and motivate you to achieve the great things in life I know you are capable of. And I promise to trust and listen to you every day. I promise to be a good dad to our four-legged fur baby Archie. And take him for walks when you're too tired and you can't be bothered. I promise to be as silly, as annoying, and as spontaneous as I am now, even when we're old, grey and wrinkly. You really mean the world to me, and there's no one else I'd rather talk to. At the end of a rough day, no one else's opinion I value more than yours. And there's no other smile that means more to me than that one right there. I'm really glad you're smiling, because that would have been really flat if you weren't. I'll be there to keep that smile on your face throughout whatever life has to throw at us. Through thick and thin, good and bad, happy and sad, I'll be right there. Except if there's a cockroach or a moth, then you're on your own. There are a lot of people in this world, but there's no one better suited for me than you. And I'm so happy we were brave enough all those years ago to take a leap of faith and decide to be together. I love you, it's you and me, and I choose you 1,000 times over. I call upon the people here present to witness that I, Paul Danny West, take you, Nakita Alexander Johnston, to be my wedded wife.
All right. You got this. You got this.
Paul, these vows have been written long before you proposed, long before we took the leap to be together. Long before you were mine, my love and commitment to you began with a friendship. I didn't know then, when our friendship began, that this sweet, gentle, and only sometimes funny friend was everything that I'd been waiting for. Baby, you make me better. You are patient, and God knows you need it with me. You lull my thoughts, and you calm me down. You support me in all I do, and you challenge me to challenge myself. You see the lighter side of everything, and have changed my view on life for the better. Taught me how to trust, not only others, but my instincts. I vow to always be true to you, to be honest, and to work hard together to build the life that we want. I promise to care for you and protect you. I promise to be a good Luggy's mum, just as you are a good Luggy's dad. I promise to feign an interest in cricket for the rest of our days. To love claret and blue. To know that 3 bottles of sriracha is never enough. that toothpaste must be bought in bulk, and that FIFA is not just a game. But most importantly, in 1,000 lifetimes, if I had 1,000 choices, I would choose you. I call upon the people here witness. I'm like, I didn't write this bit. That I, Nakita, Alexander Johnston, take you, Paul Denny West, to be my wedded husband.
All right.
So, how blessed we are, ladies and gentlemen, to see some real emotion and hear some real authentic words. And, you know, this is exactly why they're standing here today. And it's such an honour to hear them wear their hearts on their sleeve. And I'm sure there's a few eyeballs raining inside glasses back there. And they've done a great job to compose themselves and get their vows out there. So well done. So now Luke, the very dapper Luke's going to come onto the scene. He's got some wedding rings in his pocket. Round of applause for Luke, ladies and gentlemen. So now that Paul has a shiny wedding ring in his hand, he's going to put it on Nakita's finger, and this is going to show the world that here is his gorgeous wife. May people recognise and give thanks and praise to this beautiful fact. Now Nakita also has a shiny wedding ring in her hand. She's going to put it on Paul's finger, and this is going to show the world as they roll down the road of life that here is her gorgeous husband. May people give thanks and praise for this beautiful fact. And may they remember to roll these rings on their fingers on a day in the middle of winter when it's pouring sideways and it's freezing. And they can just roll the rings on their fingers and remember just how beautiful the day was. They got married, the birds were chirping. It just really doesn't get much better than this. May they remember to roll the rings on their fingers and remember all the beautiful love, energy, connection and support that was there from their friends and their family. And may they also remember to roll the rings on their fingers and remember those beautiful promises they just shared with each other. So today confirms these two beautiful humans will get to do everything with their best friend for the rest of their life. May they continue to succeed in being amazing lovers and partners, and may they always keep the spice in their life. And we all wish them so much success in their adventures, in their life and in their love. And it is now my hugest pleasure that I now pronounce them husband and wife. Paul, you are now kissed the bride. Woo-hoo! So ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to be over there signing our legal documents. We're all just going to hang out. If you need to get some shade, do that. But we're just going to be over there signing some stuff. Let's give another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been a long day, baby. Things ain't been going my way, you know I need you here. You clear my mind all the time. And baby, the way you move me, it's crazy. Like you see right through me and make it easier.
So ladies and gentlemen, it's been my absolute honour and privilege to marry these two legends here today. So they're a fully legit couple. We've signed all their stuff, so they're all signed, sealed and delivered. And I do present to you the most newly married couple in the entire universe. Ladies and gentlemen, got Paul and Nakita West. Woo-hoo!
she